There are stories to be shared and there are stories to be praised. There are tales that families pass down for generations and legends that resonate through a country's lore for eons. And then there are accounts and narratives that speak on an entirely different level. In 2002, while traversing the rows of movies and television shows in our local Blockbuster, my sister and I uncovered the original anime adaptation of Fruits Baskets. Little did we know that this show would set us up for a personal journey, one where dealing with your inner monsters can be a metaphor tackling puberty, familial ties, and romantic entanglements. The beast that thrives within our hearts and the claim they have over our minds. At its core, Fruits Baskets is a series about healing. Healing from loss, healing fractured relationships, healing from monstrous misconceptions forced onto them by personal opinions. This series spares no one from emotional baggage. Everyone is dealing with something beneath the surface. The two that show this effect perfectly through the lens of sibling rivalry is that of Yuki and Ayame. Between the rat and the snake, they get along as well as you would think their animal counterparts. Ayame, the free spirit that is the perfect counter to the stoic nature that Yuki reflects. When we first meet Ayame, he is really one of the first characters to draw out any real emotional response out of Yuki. However, the nature of their relationship changes along the juxtaposition of Yuki realizing the hold his mother has on him is not the same as her interactions with Ayame. If anything, the audience is now able to approach Yuki's relationship with Ayame from a significantly different vantage point. When we learn that Yuki fears his mother, as with some of the other Zodiac members, and until this point, while we have only seen Yuki be frustrated with his brother's antics, we have not seen how his brother interacts with the other immediate family members. When Yuki realizes that Ayame not only does not fear their mother, but has a complete lack of respect for her, he almost immediately realizes that he is in fact taller than she is. A small instance to some, but for those that are mentally subjugated by loved ones, this is a small realization that goes miles towards his understanding of himself and how he approaches those around him. And I would argue that this is the turning point that Yuki's character needed. The second aspect to delve into is the dark, twisted love that is Segure and Akito. This presents the toxic nature of love and the manipulation that is so often comes with this side of understanding the monster within. Manipulation, along with possessiveness and obsession, are the three pillars of their relationship, and it really sets the tone not only for their interactions with each other, but the underlying narrative of Fruits Baskets as a whole. Akito's physical abuse of the cast, along with Segure's mental manipulation, not only of Akito, but of literally everyone but Ayame, goes to set the tone that really no one is safe. Even Hattori, while subjugated to the physical assault from Akito, was still a main fixture in the mental chess Segure was playing behind the scenes. This type of personality on both sides was subsequently quelled with the dissolving of the curse, as it seems, because once she had no mythical bonds to the other Zodiac members, she seemingly did not need to fight for her godship. While we were privy to the mental breakdown that preceded the withering of the curse, the subtle change in personality depicted from Akito allows us to understand that the monster she dealt with wasn't necessarily vanquished, but more quelled, leading to the eventual acceptance of a potential new way of life where she did not need to possess others, where she could finally be alright with just being herself. And while we spent a long time not knowing what Segure was after, if we were to take him at his word, which I normally don't, it would be for this realization in Akito. This acceptance of her own personal monster. And by proxy, his, because he's psycho. But I love him. Its biggest strength, through the duration of the narrative, is and has been the tight storytelling. Fruits Baskets does an amazing job at being a comedy, but setting up long-lasting feelings that carry on throughout the entire series. I thankfully was able to enjoy the emotional roller coaster on a weekly basis, and while I would have loved to binge the series, I would not have suggest that just due to the emotional endurance one would need to watch multiple of these shows in a row. The audience is led to believe that something as simple and plain in the narrative as Toru owning a baseball cap that she never wears would be a fleeting anecdote, or that Kyo's rivalry with Yuki would be a mere anime trope. But these things have a powerful impact on the story down the road. Fruits Basket explores many lighthearted teenage elements from high school festivals to school plays to trips to hot springs, all while building up a mountain of ominous tension that flips the tone in an instant. The Cat Beast. In the 2001 version, the Cat Beast is used as the in-game confrontation, a sort of dark epic final. A monster hidden in plain view from the very start, culminating in the team-up of Yuki and Toru to stop him. However, in the 2019 version, the Cat Beast happens early at the end of the first season and never truly plays a significant plot point again. However, the trauma experienced by both Toru at witnessing the transformation and Kyo at having Toru witness his true form creates significant parallels to that of the actual relationships, entering into deeper phases and understandings of each other. While we do not have a cat monster living inside us to be released with the simple remover of prayer beads, the time of our lives when we have to reveal deep secrets or insecurities to one we care about can bring the same amount of weight. This presents the audience with a drama that can be seen in almost any other slice of life with a romantic angle, but in a style and manner that can be displayed only through the story of Fruits Basket. Throughout the series, you're rooting for each of these characters to be released from their curse and finally receive their much-deserved happy ending. Rather than a happy ending though, they get a cathartic one. Momiji never rejoins his family. Kyo's father never acknowledges his own guilt. Toru and Kyo never learn the true meaning of Kyoko's final words. Yet still, when the curse breaks and the bonds shatter, no one is left behind and the tattered remains. Everyone gains their freedom and for the first time, a true hope for the future. This future is something that we as the audience can now use our own imagination to predict. Just as with ourselves and personal friends, we have become a full part of the story through sharing the joy and trauma of all involved. Also, minor flex, at the time of this recording, this was the #1 greatest anime of all time on my anime list. While I do not really get the math, boom! Sorry. I do not see this lasting long. And in fact, upon updating this project, the show sits at a solid 5th on Mal. But even with the fleeting ability to maintain a #1 ranking on Mal, I think this serves as a great last connection that Fruits Baskets portrays. As with our feelings of inadequacy, of jealousy, and of hiding one's true self, it is fleeting. A moment to treasure, no matter if it is personal with someone else or an accolade obtained, because acknowledging it is the first step in understanding your own monster within. Hey you! Yeah you! the amazing Nakama that made it to the end of our content. Hi, I'm the DarkBriton with the Runaway Warlords, and I'd like to personally say thank you for being able to check out our video. If you like what we have, go ahead and subscribe. That'll really be able to help you out. If you want to check out another video, we have one right here. And also, we have a lovely playlist for you to check out right there. I'm the DarkBriton of the Runaway Warlords. Thank you so much for being with us on this journey. We'll catch you next time. Peace.